Give us the parameters, the general gist of what happened in this particular case.
So I mentioned in a previous video that's uploaded to our Sheriff's Office Facebook page that I'm a part of the South Florida Internet Crimes Against Children Task Force. It's a task force that we've been a part of now for quite a while. We have a few other detectives who are assigned to this task force, and we get cyber tips in from social media platforms reference to uploaded content, which would be child exploitation material. In this particular case, whenever we're caught up on the cyber tips, we'll go out and we'll work some proactive stuff where we will do some undercover chatting. We'll go out online and identify ourselves as an underage person, whether male or female, and we'll end up talking to some people who will try to entice us to engage in sexual activity with them or send us nude, harmful material to minors per statute.
And is that what happened in this case? You engaged in with this individual, and this individual did what, or was asking for what?
This particular individual, after a short time of speaking with him for about 3 weeks or so, he ended up sending nude images of himself, approximately 5 of those. Each one of those is a third-degree felony in the state of Florida.
Does it take a long time? Like, are these quote-unquote predators or people who are out there soliciting, is it something that takes a while to build up before these images get sent, or do you find cases where it's like the first time you're chatting with someone, they're already trying to go down those back avenues, so to speak?
I've chatted with quite a few people. Sometimes they're very quick to send nude photos. It's not things that we ask for. They send them. Sometimes they need to build up more of a rapport before they feel comfortable, but I would say 9 times out of 10 in these cases, they're sending nude photos at some point.
And in this particular case, this individual, this teacher, had asked to meet up with you or this 16-year-old at a motel in Indian River County. Is that why the case came down here?
We had spoken about meeting. It was initiated by this person, Joseph Comjathy. We spoke about meeting either in a car or a hotel here in Indian River County.
And in terms of these cases we saw in that video, he's not the first. You guys have had several of these cases within the last 6 months, a year, right?
Yes, sir.
How are they? Are they all sort of similar? Do they all follow a pattern, or do some just sort of diverge in other ways?
To build a profile on it, essentially, I'd say a lot of the people that we end up speaking with, they're in their 30s or 40s. Typically, they're married and they have kids. I can't say it's more one person than the other or anything, but if I was to go based on all the cases that we've worked, a lot of them are in their 30s, 40s, all of which have been males, typically married, unhappy marriages, and they have kids.
And this gentleman, I believe it said in the affidavit, he was in an unhappy marriage, right?
That's correct.
And I think you had also mentioned you work with a Central Florida partner. Is that how this kind of all came together?
So in the state of Florida, the task force, the Internet Crimes Against Children Task Force, has 3 separate areas. There's South Florida, which stops with Indian River County. Once you get into Brevard, it turns into Central Florida, and then you have a North Florida task force. But the task force is nationwide.
So it's important to have a good working relationship with everyone because this case crossed county lines and task force jurisdictions.
Yes, that's right.
What's the advice you give parents, people watching this? You know, you're online, you see, I mean, I guess in essence, the worst of the worst. What do you tell people?
Know your children's passwords. You know, build a relationship with your kids to make them feel like you're not spying on them, but to keep them safe. Know their passwords, know what apps they have, know what those apps do and who they can reach out to. You know, how far does this app go out? Is this just a game, or can you chat in this game? The sheriff mentioned on our Facebook post, I made a case off of Roblox. It was a child exploitation case, but in that game, you can chat with people. And there was a predator out there who was posing as a child, and he was an adult. So know the games that your kids are using, know what capabilities that they have. And again, you're not spying on your kids, but go through their content, see their photos, their recently deleted photos, see what they're doing online, and just have that relationship with them to keep them safe.
Was it disconcerting to find out this was a teacher, someone who deals with kids that age and younger?
It was, very much.
And
why?
So a teacher is a person of trust. You know, just like law enforcement, we are people of trust. This particular individual is a double whammy. He was a teacher. I think he was employed for approximately 1 year, but he was also a 10-year Coast Guard veteran where he worked closely with law enforcement, where he did a lot of interdiction stuff. So yeah, he was a teacher. He worked with law enforcement. It's very upsetting to have a person of trust at that level to commit these acts.
No, I'm good.
Why is it important to have this task force?
Someone's got to do it. The images, the videos, the content that we see, it's troubling. Nobody enjoys looking at it, but somebody has to. Somebody has to keep the children safe. There's always going to be predators out there. The detective who assisted us in Brevard County has been doing this since the 1990s, back whenever AOL was dial-up and you were chatting in chat rooms. I mean, she's seen it all, and she's a great investigator. I was very impressed by her interview skills and her knowledge on these cases. But these cases are nothing new. They've been around, like I said, since AOL dial-up, and they're not going away. As technology continues to advance and these predators can hide behind the computer screen even more, it won't stop. It's important to have these people assigned to the task force to keep moving forward and progressively investigating these cases.
One last question for you. What's your message to those predators out there?
I'd like to just tell the predators that, you know, it's if you're out there, we're going to catch you. You know, a lot of people that we end up dealing with, they say this is their first time. No, it's their first time being caught. You know, if you're a predator and you're out there seeking children, we'll find you.